The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. The Book Thief, by Markus Zusak, published in 2005, is a unique and moving historical novel set in Nazi Germany during World War II. The story is narrated by Death, who recounts the life of a young girl named Liesel Miminger, an orphan struggling to survive and find hope amidst the horrors of war. The novel explores themes of love, friendship, loss, and the power of words to shape our lives and identities. Plot summary. Introduction. The story is set in Germany between 1939 and 1943. The narrator, Death, begins by introducing Liesel Miminger, a young girl on her way to the fictional town of Malching to live with foster parents. Her father has disappeared, and her mother is unable to care for her, so she is being placed with a couple in the working class area of Himmel Street. On the way there, her younger brother dies, and Liesel steals her first book, The Gravedigger's Handbook, found near her brother's grave. She cannot read, but she is drawn to the book, as a memento of her brother and the last connection to her mother. Life on Himmel Street. Liesel is taken in by Hans and Rosa Huberman, her new foster parents. Hans, a gentle, kind-hearted man who plays the accordion, forms a close bond with Liesel, teaching her to read at night, when she has nightmares about her brother. Rosa is abrasive and strict, often scolding Liesel, but over time, Liesel sees her compassion hidden beneath a rough exterior. Liesel becomes close friends with her neighbor Rudi Steiner, a mischievous boy with whom she shares many adventures. Rudi idolizes Jesse Owens, the African-American Olympic runner, and often jokes about his dream of winning races, and being like Owens. Rudi and Liesel develop a strong friendship, bound by their shared poverty, and experiences on Himmel Street. As Liesel's love for reading grows, she begins stealing books from various places, hence earning the nickname the Book Thief. Her first significant theft happens, when she takes a burning book from a Nazi book burning ceremony. She feels the thrill of rebellion, and begins to understand that words hold power, a theme that grows as the story progresses. Max Vandenberg and the Power of Words. The Hubermans' lives change drastically, when Max Vandenberg, a Jewish man, arrives at their door seeking refuge. Hans owes a debt to Max's father, who saved his life during World War I, so he and Rosa hide Max in their basement despite the risks. Max and Liesel develop a profound friendship, as both have lost family and live in constant fear. Liesel shares her stolen books with Max, reading to him when he is ill. In return, Max writes and illustrates small books for her, such as The Standover Man, which tell his story and express his feelings. Through Max, Liesel learns more about the horrors of Hitler's regime, and the impact of propaganda. Max encourages Liesel to use words to fight back against the hatred around them, strengthening her conviction in the power of storytelling. Himmel Street and wartime hardships. As the war intensifies, life on Himmel Street grows more difficult. Food and other supplies become scarce, and the Nazi influence grows stronger. Hans, who openly disapproves of the Nazi regime, is eventually drafted into the German army, as punishment for showing sympathy toward Jews. Meanwhile, the town is hit by frequent bombings, and residents, including Liesel and her neighbors, must seek shelter. During these dark times, Liesel begins reading aloud to others in the bomb shelters, finding solace, and providing comfort to those around her. Her words provide an escape, momentarily easing the fear and anxiety gripping her community. Her love for books and words becomes a source of resilience and strength, a way to help others endure the hardships of war. Tragedy and loss. The climax of the novel comes when Himmel Street is bombed, and many of Liesel's loved ones are killed, including Hans, Rosa, and Rudi. Liesel survives because she was in the basement, reading her book. In a moment of devastation, she clings to the rubble of Himmel Street, feeling the weight of all she has lost. Death, who has been watching her, is deeply moved by her story. After the bombing, Liesel is taken in by the mayor's wife, Ilse Hermann, who had also previously allowed Liesel to steal books from her library. Liesel grows up, eventually writes her own story, and continues to live, even though the scars of the war and her losses remain with her. Death's reflection and Liesel's legacy. The novel ends with Death reflecting on Liesel's life, and the beauty and tragedy of humanity. Death reveals that he met Liesel 3 times throughout her life: at her brother's death, during the bombings on Himmel Street, and eventually, at her own passing as an old woman. Death is haunted by humans' ability to love, endure, and destroy. He acknowledges that he has kept Liesel's story as a testament to her courage, and the resilience of the human spirit. Themes. The power of words. Words are central to the novel, serving as a means of control, as used by Hitler, but also as a source of comfort, resilience, and rebellion for Liesel and Max. Liesel's relationship with books allows her to escape her harsh reality, understand the world around her, and offer solace to others. Friendship and love in hardship. Liesel's relationships with Hans, Rosa, Rudy, and Max highlight the importance of human connection in difficult times. Despite the cruelty of the Nazi regime, these characters show kindness, love, and loyalty, sustaining each other through unimaginable challenges. Death and mortality. Narrated by Death, the story examines mortality and the randomness of life and death in wartime. Death's perspective adds a unique layer, as he is both weary of human cruelty and touched by their capacity for hope and resilience. War and its impact on innocence. Liesel and her friends lose their innocence as they face the realities of war, poverty, and the brutality of the Nazi regime. They are forced to grow up quickly, but they also find ways to resist and find joy, showing that innocence can persist in small acts of defiance and kindness. The complexity of humanity. Through Death's observations, the novel presents humanity as both beautiful and horrifying. Death reflects on humans' contradictory nature, as they are capable of both extreme cruelty and profound compassion. Significance. The Book Thief is a poignant exploration of the resilience of the human spirit, in the face of oppression and tragedy. Zusak's unique choice of narrator adds depth to the novel, providing a contemplative, sometimes philosophical, perspective on human life and death. The novel highlights the transformative power of literature and storytelling, as well as the ways individuals can resist oppression by clinging to compassion, friendship, and hope. Liesel's journey from a frightened, illiterate girl to a resilient young woman who understands the power of words leaves readers with a sense of both the fragility and strength of the human spirit. This is the end of The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. Thank you for listening. See you next time.